Hello, City Church. I'm Barrett Clark, and I'm going to make a cocktail for you today. I love cocktails because they have good origin stories. They bring people together, and you have good stories over those cocktails. I'm going to make a martini today. The martini story comes from the Occidental Hotel in San Francisco, which no longer exists, from the 1860s. The drink was first published in the Bartender's Guide in the 1880s and was popularized in New York and Paris around the turn of the century. Hemingway said that martinis made him feel civilized. I agree with him. He may have had too many martinis though. We'll start with the liquor. Today I have gin and vodka, and these are the common martini ingredients. Most people like gin, some people like vodka. It's purely preference. Gin is made of juniper berries, which has a nice aroma. Vodka is oftentimes crisper and cleaner. Personal preference, I like gin in the warmer months and vodka in the winter. I have these in decanters. The decanters don't do much. You don't need to have decanters, but it makes your liquor look pretty. And when I got married, I got pretty things. I have dry vermouth here, and I use Dolan vermouth, but you can use any that you find. So what we'll do here is start with some of the equipment. I have a beaker here to stir drinks, and I also have a shaker here just to show you as well. Some drinks are shaken, some are stirred. It's personal preference. However, most people would use the phrase, do not bruise the vermouth. Vermouth is a type of wine, and like most wine, you typically do not shake the bottles. So in the same way, a drink that's made with vermouth, you wouldn't want to shake that drink as well. And because martinis have some vermouth in them, we generally stir the drink. So I got my beaker here, and I'm going to use gin today because it's a little bit warmer. And I'm going to use about 3 ounces of gin. So I have 1 shot here. Remember, each shot is about 1.5 ounces. So I'm going to pour my other 1.5 ounces into the ice. Then I have my dry vermouth as well. Now, there's a wide range of the ways you can make martinis with vermouth. A wet martini is where you're going to have half dry vermouth and half gin or vodka. Others like it dry. When you say dry, that oftentimes means just a smidge of vermouth. I prefer my martinis dry, so I'm just going to pour out about a splash of dry vermouth, about 1/4 ounce. That's about it. Some people will actually wet the rim of the glass with dry vermouth, so it's truly just a splash. I'm going to pour my dry vermouth in here, and I'm going to stir for about 15 seconds. Just cooling the drink and mixing it together. And you'll see over here with my glasses, typical martini glasses, and I'm cooling the one glass with ice in it right now. Again, personal preference. Glass doesn't have to be cooled, but it's a way to keep the drink cooler for longer. I stirred for about 15 seconds. I have my strainer, which I'll put on top. And because this glass is cooled, I'm going to pour out my ice. My glass is ready, and I will pour my drink. Now, martinis can be served in a couple different ways. Some are dry, meaning with less vermouth and without olive juice. Some are served dirty, which means you would pour in a splash of olive juice. I prefer mine without olive juice, but again, it's personal preference. So I'm going to serve mine dry without olive juice today, but I am going to serve it with a garnish. The typical garnishes are either olives, and I have 3 olives here that I have on a skewer that I'll put in my drink. Others like their martinis with a twist, which means it's a twist of a lemon peel, and you can decoratively put it on a skewer or just put a little bit of lemon peel in your drink. It can be served either way. Again, personal preference. So now you have a perfect martini ready to be shared with a friend. Thank you, City Church.